All right, we're going to call the meeting to order. I'll say it's right at 7:30. And I'm sitting in for Chairman Blythe tonight. So we'll get to the first item on the agenda, which is new business, Primo Capital LLC and 106 Seymour Road. Sign in, John Paul.
For the record, my name is John Paul Garcia. I'm a licensed professional engineer and land surveyor, licensed to practice in the state of Connecticut. Principal office, 190 Fairwood Road, in the town of Bethany, ready to present you Primo Capital. All we're doing is changing the house size. So if you want, I've got an overlay that shows you what was approved versus what we're proposing, which is almost identical. The blue is what was approved, the 40 by 80 house box with a side loading garage. What they're proposing is something substantially smaller and a front loader. The clearing limits are essentially the same. The septic system's in essentially the same location. Yep, so it's just like that.
So what's
So
new?
blue was what was originally approved and what we have a
Okay.
permit on.
David,
And red is
is the
what we're
mic
proposing.
picking? Is the mic picking him up?
Is the mic picking?
Is the mic picking me up?
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And that's all we're doing. And so Christine said, just bring it back in and go over. The clearing limits are essentially the same. We swung it out a little wide here at the edge, but everything else is the same.
What was the reason for the change?
House. When we got this approved, we had a generic house on it. 40 by 80 house box with a side loader. It's relatively, that's 3,200 square feet on one floor. So that's about as big as anybody's gonna do it.
Yeah.
And it showed a deck, septic system's in essentially the same place.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
now we have a particular house plan. The guy wants to do this particular house
Okay.
with a wraparound deck and porch and a front loader garage as opposed to a side loader. So we originally, we originally approved this in blue as a side loader, and now he wants to do a front loader.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, this looks like a front loader too.
N-
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what this is here.
No.
So the driveway's getting further away from the wetlands, it looks like, but the house
Yes.
is, but the house is getting closer.
The house, yeah,
Okay.
because we eliminated the side loader garage, it's actually, and the clearing limit's essentially the same with the exception as I swung it a little bit wide down the bottom.
Yeah.
And that would, and if the commission wants, I'll pull it back, it doesn't matter. It's not a, but the clearing for the septic system stays the same. The
Mm-hmm.
clearing for the ditch drainage stays exactly the same,
Yeah.
so nothing changes. Where you, there's red underneath there, you just, it's when you overlay them, you can see it.
Yeah, no,
And this, and the wetlands are back here.
same here,
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
sure.
Yes, Steve?
Yes. John Paul, when was this originally approved?
last year.
It-
2 years
That
ago.
wasn't too long ago, yeah, I remember.
It was approximately 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and then we got a transfer about 4 months ago.
Yeah,
Okay. And on neither your full-size map or your overlay do I see any distances shown between the house and the wetlands.
Here's the 100-foot upland review area.
Okay, all right, now I'm seeing it. Thank you. And all right, but, and we don't know, are you able to approximate the distance to the wetlands from the closest corner to any of the structures?
60 feet, probably about 65, 70 feet. This is 30,
I tried to extrapolate, but could not.
no, that's fine.
Yep. 65?
Yeah, hold the phone for just a second.
Yep.
That's 60 feet. So it's 65 feet.
Okay,
Mm-hmm.
thank you.
Yeah.
That's where I said the clearing limit in that location is exactly the same as what was originally approved.
Thanks.
And this cut in a little further.
Yeah,
What's
I
the
just moved
distance?
it out. I don't know why I did. I think maybe for grading or something. But I can pull it back if you want. It
Well,
makes no
on this,
difference.
what, first,
It's about 10 feet.
it's about 10 feet, okay. And then you're still, how close to the,
Oh, you're, this is where the wetlands is, it drains out here.
Yeah.
So you're, 45, 50 feet. And if if you remember, this is a man-made pond.
Yeah, I remember doing sidewalks here. Yeah, this was,
There were actually two of them, both those ponds.
yeah,
were
there was
there.
here, I remember those, yeah. I remember the poison ivy.
Yeah.
Like I said, we try to keep it the same, but, you know,
This is uphill from the road.
oh, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. But then the road goes uphill around the back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This goes up high.
Right.
Sure.
So John Paul, you said that the house got closer to the wetlands, but you could pull it back.
No, I said the driveway got closer to the
Okay.
wetlands. Here's the driveway,
Yes.
here's the new house, it's actually farther away from the wetlands.
It got
So the
smaller.
disturbance got pulled back away from the wetlands. The only place where it got a little closer is down here at the driveway entrance, where we moved the clearing limit over about 10 feet.
Thank you.
Anybody else have any further questions for John Paul, on this?
Not for me. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Alrighty. And Chris, this is an issue that we can vote on tonight?
No, because you just
Okay.
received it tonight, so you have two options. You can defer it to me, if you so choose, or you would hold on to it, decide if you want to take another site visit or not, and act on it in your meeting in September, so. your choice.
Okay. I don't know, from my point of view, it seems like it's something we could delegate to Chris, and it doesn't seem like too much of a change in.
I have no problem with it. I was there,
Yeah.
whenever we approved this the first time.
Yeah, me too.
But I guess just a concern before we move into any kind of action on it. Just John Paul, I see the property slopes toward the wetlands, so anything that escapes from this construction envelope is certainly going to end up in the wetlands. Will you concentrate on maintaining those sedimentation erosion controls
Yeah.
on that north end of the property?
Yeah.
Thank you.
So we delegate this to Chris?
I was gonna say, anybody wanna make a motion to delegate it to Chris? With the stipulation that, Stephen just had mentioned, maintaining the erosion controls?
Is that okay? I would so move if it doesn't bother anybody.
Fine.
Move to
Alright,
delegate it.
okay.
Chris,
A second?
I'm not seated, so that's why I'm not
You're
saying
both
anything.
seated.
you
Oh,
are.
right, we are both seated? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because
I thought
both
you
Bob
only-
and Jack are here.
We
Go on,
needed,
not
okay,
here.
we need three to vote. Okay, second.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, don't we need a motion to approve before?
If we delegate this to Chris, then she can make sure it happens in accordance with the rules.
Right, but I'm still, absent in that process though is an approval, which
We couldn't approve it today because we just got it.
I'm
We
aware of that.
delegated.
I'm
So
aware of
they're
that. We will have a meeting next month.
Not
But I
next
wonder,
month.
proceed-
No,
How do we
we won't
delegate
have a
it?
meeting until
Oh,
September.
Well, whatever, we will have another meeting, but I wonder if that's procedurally,
We've done it all the time. They defer to me, I wait 2 weeks, I issue the permit. So if for some reason somebody submits a petition, then we can go from there. But absent that, if there's no petition that's submitted to hold a public hearing, that permit gets issued.
Okay. Okay, so we have a motion, we have a second. All in favor?
All right.
You can vote.
Okay.
Am
we'll
I
vote.
seated?
Okay.
Thank you.
Motion
Thank you very
passes.
much. Have a pleasant summer, everybody.
thank you,
You
John.
too.
I didn't need to be seated because there were three regulars.
I'll talk to you tomorrow.
I'll be here.
What's that?
I said I'll be here.
Okay, the red was the new business, right?
Okay.
Red New World.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, we're moving on to old business. 28 Crestview Drive. We just took a site walk down at the site.
And I handed out to you,
Got it?
the consent that was given by the
The homeowners.
So the associate, all right, so,
homeowners
We
association.
don't have a homeowners association where I live.
yeah,
You don't have a pond, do you?
yeah.
Well, that's true.
So this letter says that, yeah, the homeowners association has no say in the project, but it sounds like they have no objection, as at all. Okay. Okay. Okay, so, based on the site walk, does anybody have any, questions for the applicant, while we're here? While he's here, he said, you could always, sign in, I suppose.
Well, he can't because he doesn't have a sign-in sheet, but we know who he is.
We know who he is. Okay. Do we have any questions for the applicant based on our
I
site
noticed-
walk?
I do. I have one
Yeah.
minor question, I think.
Yeah.
I noticed that the downspouts empty into a pipe that goes underneath what's going to be your new garage.
They're gonna be rerouted behind it.
Okay, that
And
was
then
the question. What is-
the garage most likely be routed with them together to drain into the same area.
Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yep. So I know you guys brought it up before.
I didn't want you to have to drill holes through the footings.
Oh, no.
Okay, I understand.
Yeah.
If I don't do a natural fall off the roof, I'll have them rerouted both
Right,
together in
right,
the same
right.
spot.
There's a lot to be said for riprap, stones along the edges.
How close to the wetlands is that one corner that goes into the mulch?
I
the mulch
didn't
area?
measure it, but it's, I think, like 30 feet maybe.
It was more than that. I didn't bring that.
I don't have the other map in front of me, but it's a good ways
Okay.
away from it.
I did check to see if there was an original wetland permit issued for this, and even though there are wetlands on the site, back in the day, there was a 50-foot buffer, not a 100-foot review
Right,
area.
right.
So there was no wetland permit that was apparently required, and there
That's what I'm
certainly
saying, I
was.
think it's more like 50 feet, not
Right.
30.
For the house.
Yeah.
I was just trying to be a little conservative. I know it's a good ways away from it.
Cajun is
Yeah.
Okay,
I think I scaled it off the plan that you offered,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
Okay.
for this construction then, would there need to be the silt fencing and so forth?
There would be something.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that swale that's there, but there, you can require something else, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I mean, you're probably doing slab with 42-inch.
Yeah, well, we didn't get to the actual, designs and everything, but it's gonna be up to code and whatever's supposed to be there.
Because of the size of the structure, it's required to have a 42-inch foundation, but they can have a slab, between the foundation walls. So in a sense, there typically is minor, given what's done for a house and excavating a basement,
Right.
excavation for a garage.
Right, you only need the channel for the foundation,
Or you need a
not a big hole.
Yes,
big-
yes, no
big
base,
channel.
not like a
Yeah,
basement.
not made
Right.
out of basement, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Any other comments? Or
Um,
questions?
Yes.
Again,
Yeah,
So I guess I have I'm not in favor of the proposal for a few reasons. Namely, I think that the application is incomplete, just doesn't provide me, perhaps us, as a commission, with enough information to make the decision about impacts to the wetlands and watercourses, because we don't even know how far the wetlands watercourses are from the proposed construction. I don't see any provision for sedimentation and erosion controls on any plan. I would rather see the house moved, I'd rather see the garage moved closer to the house.
Well, that was an approximate location. It could be shifted forward as well.
Well, so, but again, I think that's gonna be, I think, I would like to see for the town record purposes and for my certainty of mind on the matter when I come to decide it, I'd like to see a plan where that's going to be, but if we're gonna, if this is what, if what you have proposed is what you are intent on doing, I object to it because it's a big structure that could go closer to the house. I know you want to allow for passage to the rear, and you've allowed yourself more than 20 feet to do that between the garage and the house. I'd rather see that periodic or episodic use of that, of a strip like that on the outside, let's say, of the development, and which would allow you to move the garage closer to the house and pull it away from the wetlands and watercourses, which would still put you squarely in the middle of our upland review area. So, but I think doing that would be would allow me to feel more comfortable with the plan if the development was pulled farther away from the wetlands and watercourses, and I don't really see much of a reason why it couldn't be. Also, I don't see where any of the roof leader discharge is going. You're going to inject it into 2 other existing pipes. I don't see any provision for that outfall wherever it's going to be, because those kind of velocities and flows could lead to scour, which beyond the tree line could end up.
Yeah, we're gonna put the pipes empty into a, I'll call it a mini rain garden now.
I saw that, but they're going to be relocated, and there are going to be more
Rerouted.
pipes.
No, the pipes are gonna be rerouted around the structure.
Around the garage.
Going to the same spot.
Okay, well, I can't see that, and then you're going to add flows to it, so I don't know, so again, I think of velocities and volumes and scour and things like that.
It might wash everything away over there, right? Might wash everything away, is that what you're trying to say?
It could wash everything away and cause the erosion from where one could not even see into the Crestview Lake or that wetland system, let's call it, that micro watershed. So, I think the application is, from my opinion, it's deficient. Doesn't provide me with enough information to decide it. I think that the owner could move the construction farther from the regulated areas. So, that's, and then I have just a generalized question. What do you intend to use what do you intend to do? What kind of activities do you intend to do in the garage?
Excuse me?
What kind of
Park
activities do you
cars.
intend to do? Just park cars?
Storage, stuff like that. And what were you expecting?
I don't know, that's why I asked.
I mean, nothing.
You got more vehicles now than.
Yeah, I
that
like
fit
to
in
park
that
something
garage.
inside.
Yeah.
There's normal garage use.
Say that again?
Normal garage use, storage mostly.
Okay.
Park cars in the winter.
So those are my concerns.
Now, Chris, seeing this is in the upland review area, and say if we did delegate it to you, would you take into consideration Steve's concerns with sedimentation, erosion controls? Is that something that you would be able to address during the,
One of your standard conditions that you have on your permits is that before they go to start work, they're supposed to install sediment and erosion controls and ask me to go out and look at them, and then if needed, I can ask them to supplement them. And then periodically I have the right to go out and make sure that they're done. Typically, something like this, where it's a smaller structure, doesn't take too long to get done, dependent on the time of year when it's done. Because in the winter, we tend to see more erosion issues because the ground gets frozen, we haven't had snow cover, we get a rain and stuff washes. So we're mindful of that, and both the building inspector, when he goes out, because he's out there more often than I am, as well as myself, we look for those things and make sure that they're done. In this particular case, where you've got the berm where the plantings are, in a sense, also as a second line of defense, if you want to call that, and then you installed something on the inside, I think it can get controlled because it's fairly flat. It's not, I don't know. I didn't notice. Did you have any yard drains as you come down the driveway towards the garage, is there any drain in the driveway? I forgot to look.
Like drains for water.
Like a catch drain in the
Oh, no, no,
driveway?
no,
No, okay, so it's just sheet flow as
Yeah,
it comes
yeah,
down the
exactly.
driveway?
Just
So-
downspouts from the
Yeah.
roof, that's it.
So, I mean, it's not,
Everything else just naturally flows in that direction.
yeah, I mean, I think, part of what he was demonstrating with the location of it was, from a zoning perspective, it can't be any closer than 15 feet with the furthest most projection to the side yard. So when we're out in the field, if you want, we can readjust where the, you can look at it again. It was intruding a little bit on those plantings that you have that I have
Yeah.
to say were really nice. So if you wanted to shift it.
Yeah, well,
A little
most of the diagram was for the Quinnipiac Health District as well. That's why it might be a little bit oversized,
Okay.
just to make sure that it was okay with them to build in
Internal.
that area. So it could be shifted back and forth a little bit as needed.
Yeah.
But that's to make sure that we had proper septic and then proper backup septic area.
And then also distance from the well, which
Yeah,
is in
distance
the
from
front of
the
the house. So there's, the septic police always fondly have their way with people before we get to them.
When you pour the slab, make sure it's well above the driveway.
Yeah.
Have a look. So
There
it's
isn't
your
any,
pleasure.
wetland mapping on record.
Actually, what I did do is, this is the original map, as I mentioned to you. There is no wetland permit per se, but this was the original site plan, and it does show the existing house.
Chris, since I wasn't at the site, can I set this one out?
Oh, no, you can, as long as they're, you can ask them questions, so not being at the site visit is fine.
But is it,
It's existing.
if I want to say that, it's possible,
You can recuse yourself, they can still got 4
Here.
people.
Okay,
And there's a big berm that goes down here.
Right.
To bring the water over here. So anything coming down here really goes over there. Can't go this way. And whether you put a garage there or not, it will
this is
still
helpful.
go around the
Yeah, this is
berm.
good.
I mean, unless we have, the regular 1,000-year flood.
You never know.
They're becoming more frequent.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Oh my God. Okay, well,
But we do not have climate change.
We don't have one?
We don't have climate change.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe.
any further questions for the applicant or any further discussion? Because I'm of the mindset.
Just
to
a
dedicate
general
the rest.
question. There will be a plan for what you're gonna build actually filed with the town,
Oh, yeah,
right?
yes, absolutely.
Yeah. Would we have a motion to delegate this to Chris? Or,
I will move to delegate this to Chris.
second?
I'm thinking I should set this one out since I wasn't at the site visit, so.
Okay. I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye. Three.
Opposed? One, abstention? Okay. That is 3-1. That's a pass.
Okay, so we'll be in touch.
Thank you, thank you.
Email, you got all another review?
I think I know how to grab you, and I know where you live.
Thank you, Chris. Thank you for taking the time, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, thanks.
Good night.
Yeah, bye-bye.
One thing that we did get after I published the agenda, which I passed out to you tonight, I think, was a request for a transfer of the permit for the site development of 144 Ford Road.
Okay.
So there's a letter with it.
Yeah.
From the original permit holder giving consent to the transfer of the permit. So this you can act on this evening. It requires no notice to the abutting property owner since it's purely a transfer of the permit. And I've thoroughly gone through with them that if they seek to change the site plan, they have to come back here.
Okay.
But they are convinced that they're gonna be able to build with what was approved, so. That incorporated a bond of $5,000 and the installation of a split rail fence and the placards that you needed periodically around that split rail fence, so those conditions will all remain in effect.
Okay. Okay, and there's no action we need to take on this other than?
You just formally
information.
you have the ability to transfer the permit, but you always wanna see proof that the original permit holder consents to that, since they
Okay,
spent money having that plan done.
okay. Okay, so essentially we make a motion to approve the transfer?
Well, just a moment, I have a couple questions.
Yeah, once we have a
Thank you,
question,
Mr.
yeah.
Chairman. So a few things, there's some inconsistencies here. It looks, so the applicant's name is E. Judo Kimka? Okay, I don't know who that is, because the approvals are from the Terebs.
The Terps are the people who own to whom the permit was issued.
Okay, so then are the so who are the Kimkas with
That is
respect
the
to
person
Old Stone
to whom the
Properties? Let me
permit-
ask my question. Who is Kimka relative to Old Stone
principal.
Properties?
He's the principal of who would be purchasing it.
How do we know that?
I didn't ask him to provide me with something that says that, but that's what he represented, that he was gonna be purchasing it and developing it.
So there's a way to ascertain that from the Secretary of the State's website?
I'm familiar with that.
Is there some reason to think that he isn't the person he says he is?
He could be the person he says he is, but
I know he
we
could.
can't connect him with Old Stone, I guess. I think that's what, we have to see that the applicant, Mr. Kimka, is indeed Old Stone, or this, our action, could be a nullity if it's not, Just that's, being a lawyer, these are things that one picks up on and wants to make sure that there's closed loops here. So I see a open loop, let's call it. But that could be corrected at any time, I guess, if we could establish for the record that Mr. Kimka is indeed can act on behalf of Old Stone, or is
Well, why
Old
don't
Stone.
we
If I even have this correctly, I'm just looking at it.
Contingency. Verify he is.
Do you wanna do it contingent on verification that he is indeed
The principal.
principal of
member
Old
of the
Stone
LLC.
Properties LLC?
It can't hurt him if you know how to do it, that would be good.
It's very easy to do.
Yeah.
Then
we
let's
can
do
look it
that.
up.
Do it right now,
We can do it right now.
Great.
but I
But,
will do it.
but in the meantime, does anyone want to make a motion to approve this transfer permit, subject to
Verification.
determining or verifying that this L. Joe Kimka is a member or has the authority to act on behalf of
That's right,
Stone
yeah.
Properties LLC. Make a motion?
So moved.
All right, second?
How about you should second it?
Well,
You're the one
I'm
who wants
enjoying
it.
watching you second things.
So yeah, Gene, we got,
Thanks, Jeff.
we do
All
it.
right.
So who made the second?
Joshie.
Josh made the
Thanks.
second. All right.
I've signed my life away
All
many
right.
times. One more time
All in
doesn't
favor?
matter. Aye.
So it's pretty much unanimous, no one opposed, all right. So we'll just have to, confirm that.
Thank you.
So we just got the normal notification that we'll get that there is treatment being done to a pond on Carriage Drive. There's no formal action required by you because that's all under the purview of the state of Connecticut.
Okay.
But, they do send us notice, so if somebody calls, we can say, we know about it.
What do they do when they treat a pond?
I don't know.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We know what they treat it with, what do they,
Whatever the state
Maybe they
lets
take
them
it out
do.
to dinner.
yeah, they treat it nicely.
And then you also had a request from Jonathan Gordon and Jonathan Roner for the release of the IWA performance bond. This is for 24 Center Road. Been out there, the site is fine at the stage of the game. It hasn't had 2 complete growing seasons, but the building department is holding a $1,500 landscaping bond, which they will hold through the growing seasons.
So
Okay.
I'm comfortable thinking that we have a cash bond that the building department is holding that will be the carrot to make sure that everything is, and they've got sprinklers out there, they're watering it, but we need to make sure that it, and right now, there's so much water coming from the heavens anyway,
Yeah.
that it will grow through a couple of growing seasons.
Okay. How much is our bond? Do you know?
Our bond was 15, and they had
1,500?
15,000.
15,000.
So, all the drainage controls are in. I walked the entire site. There's no sign or indication of scour anywhere.
Okay.
And as I say, there's, vegetation growing everywhere. And it's a vibrant vegetation that's growing, but we need to make sure that it keeps growing.
Okay. Okay. Anybody have any issues with releasing the bond
No.
at all? Steve, no? Okay. Anyone want to make we need to, this would be do a motion?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Anyone want to make a motion to release the bond as
Come on, it's
requested
your
by the
turn.
applicant?
Steve, it's your turn.
Okay. I'd like to move to release the bond in place as discussed at 24 Center Road.
All right. Second?
Second.
Okay. All in favor?
All right.
Aye. All right. Unanimous. Bond released. Good. What else we got, Chris? Anything from
The only other thing I have to
enforcement?
report is that I did speak with Attorney Pellegrino regarding 15 Wolf Tree and 21 Wolf Tree, because I haven't seen the bond that's supposed to be there to ensure that those plantings get replaced if necessary. And he was gonna get back to me by today, but he hasn't. So I will stay on that, because,
Okay.
I mean, the plantings have all been done,
Yeah.
and whatnot, but that doesn't mean that we don't need that bond, so, double check on that. Other than that, I just seem to be doing zoning stuff.
I was going to say, you got the sign issue to deal with, yeah.
Yes, we
Okay.
won't go there.
Okay. Scheduling a date for next site inspection. Yeah, we
You don't need,
don't need any.
now we get to Jean.
Minutes, Jean.
Yes,
Here they are.
I have one change.
Oh my gosh.
On the second page, in the first asterisk paragraph, in the fourth line, I think the word no really should be now.
Okay. That's it?
That's it.
I have a change.
Oh, you can't, no.
No, it's only
Jean
Jean.
didn't
This is
catch
only
it,
Jean.
it's not up here.
Yep. I see an inconsistency. Which is it, June 21 according to our agenda, or June 19
Oh,
according to the
good
minutes?
catch.
Whoa.
I don't know,
We should.
I don't remember.
Because today's the 19th, so maybe that's.
Today's the 19th.
Good
It
catch.
is.
That should be 21, huh?
Yeah, it should be.
It was Wednesday the 21st.
No, wait a minute. Wednesday the 21st.
In June.
Yeah.
June, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
so I'll just make sure there's a
So
consistency on
our
the
agenda
dates.
was right, the minutes need to be changed.
Yes.
Thanks.
Okay. All right, motion to approve the minutes of June 21st. As indicated, with the changes by Jean and Steve. Anyone make a motion?
Motion to approve the minutes as revised.
All right, second.
I'll
All
say.
in favor?
Aye.
All right, good. I think
That's it.
that is it.
That's it.
All right.
Now you get to
I
adjourn.
have a general comment before we adjourn.
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd just like to go on the record to compliment our Public Works Department for the excellent work it did in cutting back the Japanese snotweed along 67 on the north side of the road.
Is that Public Works?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was town employees.
That's my impression.
No, it should be the state.
You think that's the state?
That's
It's
the
a state
state.
road.
Wow, okay, well, compliments to whoever's doing it, compliments to them.
On the other hand, it's already
they-
growing back.
It does grow back quickly, yes, but I see it's an annual ritual with the state, let's say, if it is the state, but they did a great job because they reached far and wide to get every plant. So they're fastidious in their efforts, so compliments to the eradicators,
All right.
whoever they are.
On that note, we have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All right. Second.
Second,
All right, all in favor?
aye.
Aye.
All right, we are adjourned at, I guess this is at 8:05.
Good stuff, thank you.
Thanks.